Good afternoon.
Yes, sir.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. If I could just have you stay on mute for a few minutes, please. Okay. Good afternoon. This is Judge Kassan. Thank you for joining us. This is the 1:45 p.m. docket on March 10th, 2022 for the City of Olmos Park Municipal Court. I appreciate everyone dialing in. Just so you are aware, we are currently live streaming on YouTube, and that's in order to comply with the open courts provision of the Constitution. Okay. Also on the call with us today is Mr. Dixon. He is the city prosecutor, as well as two court clerks from the City of Olmos Park Municipal Court. I will be calling the docket here in a few minutes. When I do that, if you could take yourself off of mute and let me know that you're present so I can make a note that you're here, okay? I am going to go over a few preliminary instructions and then we'll get started by calling the docket, and then I will take you in alphabetical order, okay? So first and foremost, if this is your initial appearance, I will be asking you how you plead on your case, okay? Today's docket is both a pretrial docket and initial appearance docket. This afternoon, it is not a trial docket, okay? There will not be any trials conducted this afternoon, okay? It is simply a pretrial hearing docket and an initial arraignment docket, okay? So if this is your initial appearance, I will be asking you how you plead on your case or cases. You have three options: guilty, not guilty, or no contest. If you plead guilty, you're admitting guilt and you're asking the court to assess the punishment in the case. If you plead no contest, you are not admitting guilt. However, you're choosing not to contest the charges, okay? And you're looking to resolve your case or cases today. That would be a plea of no contest. If you'd like to contest the charges, you would enter a plea of not guilty. At that point, I would give you the opportunity to visit with the prosecutor, Mr. Dixon, to discuss the case in hopes of resolving it. And if you're not able to resolve it, we will schedule you for a trial setting at a later date and time. You do have a constitutional right to a jury trial. That means the case would be heard and decided by 6 citizens of Olmos Park. You can choose to waive the jury trial and instead have a bench trial or a non-jury trial. That means the trial would be conducted and heard by either myself or another judge in Olmos Park. Okay, that would be a non-jury or bench trial. Okay, if you do want to try to resolve your case or cases today, there are some options available to you. If you'd like to try to keep these off your driving record if you're here for traffic tickets or moving violations. The first option is the driving safety course. If you have not taken that in the last 12 months, and if you have a valid Texas driver's license and insurance, you may be eligible for the driving safety course option. You would pay a fee of $144, and then you would be given 90 days to complete the course. Upon course completion, you would submit your certificate and a copy of your driving record, and then the case would be closed out and would not appear as a conviction on your driving record. If you are under the age of 25, you must take the driving safety course by state law. If you do not qualify for the driving safety course, the other option that might be available to you is deferred disposition, sometimes informally called probation. It is an unsupervised probationary period, anywhere from 1 day to 180 days, depending on the violation charged. There is a special expense fee that must be paid. That fee will vary from case to case. And upon completion of the deferral period, the case would be closed out and would not appear as a conviction on your record. Now, during the deferral period, there may be some conditions placed upon you. It may require you to complete community service hours, attend a course, maintain insurance, obtain a driver's license, etc. Again, those conditions will vary depending on the violation charged against you. Okay. Now, if you are under the age of 25 and you choose the deferral option, you will still be required to complete the driving safety course. If you are a commercial driver's license holder, you are not eligible for either the driving safety course option or the deferral option. Okay. If you are here for an equipment violation, maybe an expired registration, a tail light that was burned out, tinting that was too dark, etc., you may be eligible for a compliance dismissal upon payment of a fee, as if you can produce a compliance for those conditions. Okay. So if you were able to correct those violations and you present a receipt, you may be eligible for a compliance dismissal for a minimal fee. Okay. Now, some of you may be seeing the prosecutor this afternoon. If that's the case, please look for a pop-up to come up on your screen. and you will be sent into a breakout room to discuss your cases or cases with him. Okay. All right. So, Mr. Padilla, you're here for Mr. Mejia Serna. Is that right?
Yes, Jairo Mejia Serna. I would like to speak to the prosecutor, Your Honor.
Yes, sir. We will send you to a breakout room with him. Thank you. Okay, we're going to go ahead and call the docket. I will be happy to address any questions specific to your cases here in a few minutes when I call you up individually, okay? If you need an extension, a payment plan, etc., we'll discuss those options individually, okay? Now I'm going to call the docket. Patricia Arizon, if you're here, let me know.
Yes, I'm here.
All right, thank you. We'll call the docket and then I'll come right back to you, ma'am.
Okay.
Ashley Drummond. Ashley Drummond. Mario Garza. Mario Garza. Jacob Macias.
Here.
Thank you, sir. Anthony Martinez. I see you there on the screen, sir. Benacio Mata. Benacio Mata. Rose Mejia. Rose Mejia. Israel Melchor. Israel Melchor. Rowan Nightinger.
Here, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Olutomi Okutubu.
Here.
Thank
Here.
you. Blanca Peña. Blanca Peña. Kayla Posada. Kayla Posada. Richard Ramey. Richard Ramey. Thank you, sir.
I'm here. Thank you.
Isaac Ramirez.
Here, ma'am.
Thank you. Juan Ramirez. Juan Ramirez. Jason Romo.
Here.
Thank you. Julio Salazar. Julio Salazar. Mohammed Saleh. Mohammed Saleh. Brian Salinas. Brian Salinas. Victor Salmeron. Victor Salmeron. Mitchell Shaner. Mitchell Shaner.
Present, Your Honor.
Thank you very much. Jill Smith. Jill Smith. Thank you. Lucero Suarez. Lucero Suarez. Lucero Suarez. And Tony Villarreal. Tony Villarreal. Okay. Now I have a phone number ending in 972. If you could press *6 to unmute and let me know your name. Phone number ending in 972.
Ashley Drummond.
Okay, thank you.
Your Honor, I think you called Mario Garza, and my phone was muted at the time.
All right.
I
Thank
believe
you, sir.
I was muted as well.
All right. Thank you. Thank you both. I have you down now. Great. All right. We're going to get started. I said in alphabetical order, and we'll try to work through the docket as quickly as we can. Okay. Thank you for your patience. All right. Let's see. Patricia Arizon.
Yes.
Good afternoon.
Judge.
How are you?
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Let's see here. You have a charge for speeding 35 in a 25-mile-per-hour zone. How do you
Correct.
plead?
Guilty.
Okay. And how did you want to take care of it?
Well, I'm not from here. I'm visiting from California. And honestly, I thought I was driving the correct speed and they stopped me. I was completely surprised. So,
Okay. So are you trying to keep this off your driving record?
yes.
Okay. We can offer you the deferral, and it would be $235 for a 90-day deferral. No moving violations during that 90-day period, and then the case is closed out and would not appear as a conviction on your driving record.
That will be perfect.
Okay.
If we can make it like in like 3 payment plan, because I'm on a budget.
Okay. If you could make an initial payment of $50 within a week's time, could you do that as an initial
Yes.
payment?
Yes.
Okay, so that would be due on the 18th.
Uh-huh.
Okay, and then we would start your deferral at that point in time, and then you could make payments monthly after that for the 90 days.
Sounds good.
All right, and then are you still in the areas that you can stop by and make that payment, or?
Yes. Even if I'm not in the area, my daughter can do it, no problem.
All right, very good. So make sure you make that payment by next Friday, and then you'll be sent some paperwork by email, okay?
Sounds good. Thank you so much.
All right, have a wonderful day.
You as well.
Thank you. Okay, next up is Ashley Drummond.
Yes, ma'am.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. How you doing?
I'm well, thank you. Let's see here. You have an expired registration violation. How do you plead?
No contest.
Okay, and then you have a failure to maintain financial responsibility or insurance. How do you plead?
No contest. I'm not. I will. I want to pay it. I was intending on having it paid already, but
Okay.
I do have a disability. I have several disabilities, so I'm not able to work, but I do have a payment coming soon. So I was wondering if I could get some sort of extension or something like that.
Okay, let me ask you about the insurance and the registration. Were you able to get either of those things for the vehicle?
No, like I said, I was intending on having it done. The cop had explained to me to just have it all paid. He explained it to my mom and she explained it to me to have it all paid. But we kind of had like some other things come up and everything
Okay.
with family. And so I wasn't able to make that payment.
Okay, so you don't have the registration for the vehicle and you do not have insurance currently?
Correct.
All right, so you're just looking for a payment plan for these?
Yes.
Okay, all right. So the insurance will be $250, okay?
Okay, let me write.
All right.
Okay.
And then the registration will be $150, okay?
Okay.
So you're looking at $400 total, all right?
Okay.
And when can you make an initial payment of $50?
I can have $50 within a week. My mom is due to get her taxes, I think April 3rd. I want to say like the first week in April. So I intend to have the full balance paid off.
All right, so initial payment of $50 due by the 18th of this month, okay?
Okay.
And then we'll place you on a payment plan, okay?
Okay, perfect.
All right, you'll need to stop by and make that payment in person, okay?
Okay, yes, ma'am.
All right, any questions?
No, that was everything.
Okay, just make sure you make your payment, okay?
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you. Mr. Dixon?
Judge, I've got an agreement on number 7 with Attorney Javier Padilla. It's going to be a no contest plea on the operate motor vehicle without license plate. Conviction, a fine of $200 due by Monday, and then dismiss the other case, Judge.
Okay,
That's my understanding, Your Honor.
all right, you're in agreement with that, Mr. Padilla?
I am, Judge.
All right, very good. We'll go ahead and approve that and we'll process that for you upon payment, and then the other one will be dismissed, okay?
How do I make the payment, Judge? Do I call the court or is there an online?
You can email the court and they can send you a link for that payment.
Okay, I'll do that.
All right, very good. Thank you. You're free to go. All
Thank you.
right, thank you. Okay, next up then is Mario Garza.
Yes, ma'am, I'm present.
All right, very good, sir. You have a charge for failure to yield right of way. How do you plead?
I plead not guilty on that one, ma'am.
All right, I'm gonna have you
Due to
visit
the
with the,
fact that, yeah, I haven't visited with the prosecutor yet, but I will want to discuss it with him on the case.
okay, I'm gonna
Due to
send
the
you,
basis that,
you
okay,
have a
go ahead.
CDL, right?
Yes, correct, ma'am.
All right, I'm gonna have you speak with him right now, okay?
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, next is Jacob Macias.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good afternoon. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Doing well. Let's see here. You have a charge for display expired registration or license plates. How do you plead?
No contest.
Okay. And let's see. Okay, you sent in the receipt with a payment of $10, right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and it's actually a $20 compliance dismissal, so it's a balance owed of $10, okay?
Okay.
All right, so that's what's due and owing, and then once we receive that, we can close it out, okay?
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
All right, any questions?
Just send it to the same address.
Yes, I'm gonna give you until next Friday to make that payment, okay?
Okay.
All right, you're free to go.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, next is Anthony Martinez. Mr. Martinez, if you could unmute, please. There we go.
Hi, Judge.
Hi, how are you?
I'm wonderful. Thank you.
Okay, very good. So you have some old cases, right?
Yes, ma'am.
You have display expired or no motor vehicle inspection from September 2013. How do you plead?
Guilty, Your Honor.
You have another one from the same date for failure to maintain financial responsibility or insurance. How do you plead?
Guilty, Your Honor.
And then finally, one for driving while license suspended. How do you plead?
Guilty, Your Honor.
Okay. How are you looking to resolve these, Mr. Martinez?
However you could work with me. I just got out of treatment.
Okay.
I'm currently living in a sober house on Haven for Hope transformation facility, and I just started working. I had recovered my driver's license in the last week of December. The court gave me, DPS gave me 2 months to resolve my ticket with Olmos Park to receive the actual driver's license card.
Okay.
That expired March 2nd. So I would like to recover my driver's license again. I haven't had a driver's license in excess of 14 years.
Okay. Let's see here. I'm just reading the paperwork that you provided here. You're enrolled in the integrated treatment program, it says, yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you still in that program?
I graduated the program a month ago, and I'm currently living in a Pay It Forward program, which is a sober living community.
Okay. All right. And during this time, well, okay. And how long are you expected to be there?
In excess of 6 months to a year.
Okay. And you said that was a Pay It Forward program?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And were you, during any of this time, since the time of the violations, were you incarcerated at all?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Just simply in this treatment program for the last 6 months, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you receive any kind
I'm sorry?
Certificate of completion or anything for that?
Yes, ma'am. I have a certificate of completion.
All right. Could you email that to us as well for your file?
I sure can. I can get that taken care of today.
Okay. And you're currently residing at the Haven for Hope Center?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Are you employed in any capacity?
Yes, ma'am. I just started working. This is my first week.
Okay. All right. And how many hours a week do you work? Is this a full-time position or part-time position?
It's a full-time position.
Okay. All right. All right, sir. I'm going to take all that into consideration. And you will send that copy to the court of that certificate of completion?
I'll have that today, ma'am.
Okay, so were you looking to make payments on these? Are you able to make monetary payments, or were you looking to resolve it in some other fashion?
If I can resolve it in another fashion, that'd be great. of course, whatever you recommend is fine. My goal is to recover my driver's license and keep it permanently.
Are you able to perform some community service hours there at the at Haven for Hope or at the other center where you're living?
Most definitely, Your Honor.
Okay, let's see here. All right, if I could have you, I'm going to take into consideration what you've told me and the documentation that you're going to provide in satisfaction of 2 of the violations. However, for the third one, for the driving while license suspended, I'm going to have you do 35 hours of community service. Okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
That would close out that case. I'm simply closing them all out. They will be convictions on your driving record, so DPS may require some additional payment of fees to reinstate your license.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, but in lieu of making any additional payments, I'm going to take the certificate of completion for the program that you were involved in and use that as credit as community service hours for those 2 other violations, okay?
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're very welcome. You will need to submit a copy of that for the court file, and then 35 hours of community service, either at Haven for Hope or an associated program with them, okay?
No problem. Thank you so very much.
You're very welcome. Can you complete that in the next 60 days?
Yes, I sure can.
All right, we will, you do have an email address, sir?
Yes, I do.
All right, so if you could email that certificate to the court, they will then have your email address and they can forward you the timesheet for the community service hours, okay?
Wonderful.
As soon as you complete those hours, if you could submit it, we can close out all of your cases and release the hold on your driver's license, okay?
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, you're very welcome. If you have any questions, please reach out to the court and they'll be happy to assist you.
I thank you so very much. Enjoy the rest of your day, Your Honor.
You do the same. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Mr. Dixon?
Judge, on Mr. Garza, it's a June 9th reset to pull the video.
Okay. Okay. Is Mr. Garza still on the line or no?
He was having a little trouble with and I was just black screen, and I think it's a phone, and I told him worst case scenario if he couldn't figure out the buttons, because it is complicated sometimes, you know, he could hang up and call back in.
Okay, we'll see if he does that. Otherwise, we'll send notice. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay, next up then is Rowan Neidinger.
Yes, Your Honor. Here.
Good afternoon. How are you?
I'm all right, ma'am. How are you today?
I'm doing well. Thank you for your service.
Thank you. I just got back from OCS this past summer, and I'm just waiting the commission. Hopefully I can finish up this last semester.
Very good. All right. So you have a speeding charge here, 37 in a 30-mile-per-hour zone. How do you plead?
No contest, Your Honor.
Okay. And you're under the age of 25?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Did you want to take the driving safety course?
That would be preferable, Your Honor.
All right. So the fee is $144. That must be paid in full. Is that something you can pay in the next couple of weeks?
I get paid. I get my stipend. I think it's the 5th of every month. So I could probably pay April 5th if that was all right, Your Honor.
And that is, I don't have that in front of me. Let me see. This is a Tuesday. Okay, we'll make it due by the 8th. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So by April 8th, you could submit that payment and as well as a copy of your driver's license and insurance. Okay.
I am.
All right. And do not start the course until you've paid the court fees. And then from that point, then the clock starts ticking. You have 90 days.
Yes. Yes, ma'am. Can I pay I'm in Lubbock at the moment at Texas Tech. Can I pay online? Is that all right, Your Honor?
Yes. If you would email the court, they will send you that link to make that payment. Okay.
Understood.
And then when you email them, if you could attach a copy of the driver's license and insurance at that point, and then they'll give you further instructions. You can select any driving safety course online or in person as long as it's Texas approved. Okay.
Hi, ma'am. Thank you.
All right. You're free to go.
Yes, ma'am.
Take care. Okay. next up is Olutomi Okutubu.
Yes, ma'am.
Good afternoon. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I hope I didn't mispronounce your name too badly.
You're fine. Thank you.
Okay, let's see here. You have a charge for fail to stop at a designated point or stop sign. How do you plead?
I'm pleading not guilty, Your Honor.
Okay. Trial by judge or trial by jury?
By judge, I guess.
Okay. I will have you speak with the prosecutor today, and then we'll go from there, okay?
All right, thank you.
Great, thank you. Just look for that pop up on your screen. Next is Richard Ramey.
Yes, ma'am.
Good afternoon, how are you?
I'm doing pretty good. And yourself?
Doing well, thank you. Let's see here. You have a speeding charge, 38 in a 30-mile-per-hour zone. How do you plead?
No contest.
Okay. What were you looking to do? How did you want to resolve this? It's a,
Up.
did you
The
want
one.
to try to keep it off your record, perhaps?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Did you want to do the driving safety course, or were you wanting to do the deferral to try to take it off?
I'd rather do the driving safety course because in my experience when I'm on probation, I feel like I get put over the most. So
Oh, goodness. Okay. All right. So the deferral, are you over the age of 25?
I'm 34.
All right. So the deferral would be $229. And I'm sorry, you didn't want the deferral. You wanted the driving safety course. It's $144. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And is that something you can pay within a week's time?
I can pay right now.
All right. Myra, can you do that? If you send him a link, can you do that? Or is that?
Yes, ma'am, but we do need a copy of his insurance driver's license. You could send that in and we'll send them the link.
Perfect.
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Ramey. So if you'll email a copy of your driver's license and insurance to that court email address, they can then send you the instructions on making that payment. And then you'll have 90 days to complete the course. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. I'll do it right now.
All right. Very good. And
Thank you.
any other questions?
So no questions. I don't want to waste the court's time. I'm sorry. No questions.
Okay. If you do have anything, let the court clerks know and they'll let me know. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Good luck to you. Take care.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Next is Isaac Ramirez.
Yes, ma'am.
Good afternoon. How are you?
Good, ma'am.
How old are you, Isaac?
I'm 18, ma'am. I just turned 18 last year on December 3rd.
All right, very good. You have a charge here for no driver's license. How do you plead?
Ma'am, I really don't know what the stuff you were saying, like all the
All right.
the other
Well,
stuff, but I was just trying to get it off my record.
okay.
And I had just made an appointment for my driver's license and I completed all my stuff for it. I already got my certificate, so I got an appointment to take my driver's license test on the 16th of this month.
Okay. So March
Yes,
16th. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So Isaac, here's how it works. You have three cases that are open with us, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So I need a plea on each one. You can either plead guilty, not guilty, or no contest. Okay. If you plead guilty, you're telling the court, I did it. I take responsibility. I want to resolve it. Okay.
Yes,
That's
ma'am.
a plea of guilty. A plea of no contest. You're not contesting it. You're not saying I'm guilty or not. I just want to take care of it. I want to just resolve it today. Okay.
Yes,
That's
ma'am.
no contest. Not guilty. I didn't do it. I want to contest it. I want to dispute the charges. Okay.
Yes,
So I need to
but-
know on each of these how you plead. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
No driver's license, guilty, not guilty, or no contest.
That's guilty.
Okay. Ran stop sign, guilty, not guilty, or no contest.
Not guilty, ma'am.
Not guilty.
Can I talk about that?
In a minute you can. In a
Okay.
minute. Okay. And then minor in possession of tobacco, guilty, not guilty, or no contest.
Not guilty, ma'am.
Not guilty. Okay. Don't tell me anything. I want you to tell the prosecutor the facts that you think are in question. Okay.
Yes,
You
ma'am.
can tell him your story in a few minutes. Okay. But just to be clear, on the driver's license, you have a DPS appointment on March 16th, right?
Yes, ma'am. I already have it on lock. I gotta go to it.
Okay. Hang on. You're going to speak with Mr. Dixon, the prosecutor. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. You look for the pop-up to come up on your screen and then go to a breakout room with him. Okay. Mr. Dixon.
Judge, on Miss Okutotubu number 11, I'm going to make that a warning.
Okay. All right. Ms. Okuchubu, the prosecutor is going to move for a dismissal on your case. Do you have any questions?
No, I don't have any questions. Thank
All
you.
right, you're free to go. Thank you.
Have a good day.
Do the same. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Next up would be Jason Romo.
I'm here.
Good afternoon. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. You have a charge here for display expired registration or license plate. How do you plead?
No contest.
Okay. Did you get it taken care of by any chance?
I got it. I forget the date that night, and I actually took care of it the next morning. I got it renewed.
A receipt by any chance?
I'm not sure I have the receipt. I mean, I'm pretty sure I could get it if it needs to. I mean, I have also proof, well, on my car that it.
Right. But there should be a receipt from the tax assessor's office. Okay. That the car was registered. If you can present that to us, it may qualify for the $20 compliance dismissal.
Okay.
Otherwise, you're looking at the fine of $175.
Okay. I'm not home right now. When can I take that receipt in?
Right. So I'm going to give you 30 days to submit that. Okay.
Okay, that's perfect.
So as soon as you can get that to us, either in person or by email, then we can try to resolve the case from there. Okay.
Okay. Awesome.
Otherwise, we'll see you in 30 days if you don't have it. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Any questions?
No, ma'am.
All right. You're free to go.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Next up is Mitchell Shaner.
Yes, Your Honor.
Good afternoon. How are you?
I'm doing fairly well. Yourself?
I'm doing well, thank you. Let's see here. You have a couple of older cases. Failed to drive in a single lane from April of 2015. How do you plead?
Not guilty.
And then minor possession of alcohol, same date. How do you plead?
Not guilty as well.
All right, hang on a few minutes and you'll see the prosecutor. I do need to know whether you want a trial by judge or a trial by jury.
Can I set that for a bench trial, please?
Sure. All right, just hang on a few minutes, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Next up is Jill Smith. Good afternoon. If you could unmute, please. Should be a little button at the bottom of the screen.
Got it. No, it was in the middle.
Okay, there we go. All right, so you have a charge here for ran stop sign. How do you plead?
Not guilty.
Okay, trial by judge, trial by jury.
Bench, please.
Okay. Thank you very much. We'll have the prosecutor visit with you here shortly, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, Tony Villarreal.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Good afternoon. How are you?
I'm doing well, and you too, I hope.
I am. Thank you for asking. You have a speeding charge here, 41 in a 30-mile-per-hour zone. How do you plead?
No contest with circumstances.
Okay, go ahead.
I had a patient with me. I'm a nurse who had just come from a stress test, and she was on the verge of having an accident, incontinence, and she also has diabetes, and the appointment for this test had run late, and I was trying to get her back to her facility. And I was paying attention to the flow of traffic. I was not close to anyone where it would have been in danger, and I normally wouldn't have done it, but I was trying. She ended up having an accident in the car before I was able to get her back because of the pullover.
Okay, understood. Okay. All right. Let's see here. Well, I'm guessing you'd like to try to keep it off your record. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. I can reduce the fine for you. I can reduce it to $164.
That is very appreciated, Your Honor.
It would be a 90-day deferral. Is that something you can pay within the next week or so?
Yes, ma'am. Next week. Mm-hmm.
All right. So I'll give you until the 18th, which is a Friday, a week from tomorrow, to make that payment. If you want to stop by in person to do that, you can. Otherwise, if you'll email the court, they can send you a link to make that payment.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
All right. Any questions?
Should I take the defensive driving also?
No, you don't have to unless you want to take that option. That's a separate option.
All right, thank you.
Okay, just a minute. Did someone have a question? Myra, did you have a question? Okay, so Ms. Villarreal, it's $164 90-day deferral, and that fee will be due on Friday the 18th. Okay.
Appreciate it very much.
All right. Have a
I
wonderful.
also wanted to say one thing in regards to the officer that pulled me over.
Okay.
I don't know whether he's an example of them all, but he was very pleasant, even with it being bad news. They're very polite and professional, and that's appreciated.
We'll pass that on to the chief. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a wonderful day.
All right.
Mr. Dixon.
Judge, I've got an agreement on Isaac Ramirez.
Okay.
No driver's license. He's going to plead guilty. 180 days deferred disposition. He's got a fine of $281. He's going to need a payment plan with $100 down by the end of next week. I didn't get the details on how much more time he needs to finish the balance. And then proof of his license within 90 days, which he says he has an appointment at like next week or something.
Correct.
And then I'm going to dismiss the other two cases if he complies with all that.
Okay. Mr. Ramirez, are you there?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
All right. Did you understand that from the prosecutor?
Yes, ma'am, I appreciate him.
Are you in agreement with that?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and approve that plea bargain offer from the prosecutor. You've reached that agreement with him. Your payment of $100 will be due by the 18th. Okay.
Yes.
And then you'll
On
be
the
on
other
that.
payment for the $181, can you give me like an extra 2 weeks, ma'am?
Yes, you'll have some time after that. Okay. So
Yes,
you'll be
ma'am.
on the probation for the rest of the 6 months. So you'll have some time to make those payments. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Make sure it's paid off by the end of the 6 months. The sooner the
I will.
better.
Yes,
Okay?
ma'am, I appreciate y'all.
All right. So good luck with the driving test and everything at DPS next week. Okay. As soon as you get
Yes,
that
ma'am.
license, send us a copy.
Okay, ma'am, I appreciate it.
Best of luck to you, and make sure you make that payment by Friday.
Yes, ma'am. Y'all have a blessed day.
Do the same, Isaac. Take care.
Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
All right. Frank, you have Mr. Shaner and Ms. Smith next.
Okay. All right.
All right.
I'll
Thank
go
you.
talk with them.
Okay. And then phone number ending in 603.
I'm Jill Smith.
Is that your phone number, ma'am? 603?
No, but I was trying to talk to him. Does he?
Yes, he's in with Mr. Shaner, and then you're next after that.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. All right. Phone number ending in 603. If you could press *6 to unmute. What is your name?
This is Mario Garza. I have to redial again, ma'am. Is that the number you're seeing on your screen?
Oh, yes. Okay. Yes. Last 3 digits, 603. All right,
Correct,
Mr.
ma'am.
Garza, so you spoke with the prosecutor, correct?
Correct, ma'am.
All right. And he's going to reset your case till June 9th so he can review any video evidence that he may have, right?
Correct. Yes, ma'am.
All right. So we'll see you back on the 9th unless you hear from us before then, okay?
All right. Yes, ma'am. I appreciate it. Thank you, ma'am. Have a good day. No, ma'am. That'll be it, ma'am.
All right.
Thank
Have a
you,
good
ma'am.
afternoon. Take care.
You too, ma'am. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Frank?
Judge, we're no agreement. I'm asked for a bond. These are 7-year-old warrants.
Okay. Mr. Shaner, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Okay. Let's see here. So you have these older cases and we're asking for a trial. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. And Mr. Dixon?
Judge, I'm going to request a bond. These are 7-year-old warrants.
Okay. All right. Mr. Shaner, why has it taken you so long to try to resolve these cases?
I let a bunch of them go. Finally took care of everything last year, a little over 6,000 into it.
Mm-hmm.
And Olmos Park is the last stop on my list.
Okay. All right.
Just trying to get on the straight and narrow. Did a little bit of jail time in 2019.
Okay. So did,
And
is it your intention to have a trial on these cases and contest the charges, or were you looking to resolve them in another manner?
contest the charges.
Okay. All right. So I am going to ask for $100 bond on each of these. I could set the bond much higher, but I'm going to set them at $100 for each case to get them on the trial docket. Okay, because they are very, very old.
Alrighty.
All right. So if you could post a $200 bond, 100 on each case, we'll set these on the trial docket for you. Okay.
I don't have the money for that. I'm just recovering from a motorcycle accident and barely getting back into work.
Okay. I will take them off the warrant. I will take them off warrant status. They will remain with the DPS hold, but I will take them off warrant status as soon as you can post a bond. Okay, we will set them for trial. Okay.
Okay.
All right, but they will be on hold. You will not be able to get a driver's license until we reach some resolution on these cases. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, it's the last two. I understood it's taken a while to get a case. There was over 20 of them that I've taken care of last year.
Okay, I'm glad you're getting them all cleared away. So these will be the last two to get cleared off. Okay.
And then
Once you're in a position to post that bond, we can set them for a trial setting. Okay.
And then if I don't end up contesting that, would you guys be able to use any kind of like time served? I did a 6-month sentence.
I would take that into consideration if you want to submit your paperwork. In the meantime, you could do that. And I would consider that request for time served, but you would have to submit some proof of your incarceration. Okay.
And then would I have to go over to Kendall County? I know my attorney, he took care of that in a precinct 4.
Whatever paperwork you have, Mr. Shaner, regarding your time spent in jail or that you were incarcerated, any of that information that you may have, any records to that effect, if you could send that to the court, you could mail a copy or you could email a copy of any of those documents that details the dates you were incarcerated. I could take that into consideration if you'd like to go that route.
Yeah. Would you consider dismissing or like just so they don't go on my record, giving me some kind of deferral? Because I know I got a few on my driving record and I'm just trying to get my license squared away.
Okay, well, I mean, if you want to contest the charges, that's the plea of not guilty, and then we would go that route. If you wanted to reach some sort of resolution with the prosecutor for a deferral, he may be willing to talk to you about that. But if you wanted to request the time served, that's a whole another option. And I would need some documentation of proof of incarceration. Okay. But with the time served, they are convictions on your record, but it would close them out and they would be resolved. And then you could eventually get your driver's license.
Yeah. Could I change my plea to no contest and then submit that documentation so I can get that?
Okay. So just to be clear, you'd like to change your plea from not guilty on the failure to drive single lane to a plea of no contest. Is that correct?
Yes.
Then you'd like to change your plea on the minor in possession of alcohol from a plea of not guilty to no contest. Is that also correct?
Yes.
All right. And you're waiving your right to trial. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Please submit your paperwork. I will take that into consideration and make a determination as to whether I will grant the time served. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. If you can get that in within the next 2 weeks, I'll take a look at that and you'll have a resolution in a few weeks. But I need you to provide that paperwork to the court. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. I have it sent in this evening.
All right. Very good. I'll look at it and then we'll give you, we'll notify you either by mail or email of the court's decision. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Shaner. If you have any questions, please reach out to the court.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Have a good afternoon.
You too.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Dixon, you have Jill Smith.
I'll go visit with her, Judge. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. call the docket again, or yeah, call the docket again. Sí. Benacio Mata. Benacio Mata. Rose Mejia. Rose Mejia. Israel Melchor. Israel Melchor. Blanca Peña. Blanca Peña. Kayla Posada. Kayla Posada. Juan Ramírez. Juan Ramírez. Julio Salazar. Julio Salazar. Mohamed Saleh. Mohamed Saleh. Brian Salinas. Brian Salinas. Victor Salmeron. Victor Salmeron. Lucero Suarez. Lucero Suarez. Okay. Want to go off the live for a minute?